Waiting for Godot as an absurd play. This play was written by Samuel Beckett. He is a French and English playwright. He was born in 1905 Dublin, and during his school days, he developed an interest in French literature, especially in the existential writings of Sartre and Camus. And of all the English writers, he idolized James Joyce, and he was attracted to his Ulysses and a portrait of an artist as a young man. Beckett served 2 years as lecturer in English in a French institution of higher learning. And due to respiratory problems, he died in 1989, Paris, France. Beckett preferred to write his major works first in French and then he translate that into English. So, Waiting for Godot was also first written in French in 1948 as An Attendant Godot, and later it was translated to English in 1954. This play belongs to the category of theatre of absurd. The outbreak of the Second World War has a terrible impact on Beckett's works and also Beckett. He opposed the Nazi attack on the Jews, so he joined the Renaissance group, which had agents all over France functioning as spies. But he was betrayed, so he and his wife Susan has to fly from place to place to save themselves from being shot dead. These were the gloomy days of his life. This was reflected in his work also. So he has his own philosophy of absurdity, the void, his illusion of faith, there is no place for humor, and also he believed in loneliness and failure of love. If you take the background of Waiting for Godot, it also has the effects of World War II. While the whole world is shocked after with the effect of World War II, there was shock and disillusionment everywhere. There was alienation and anxiety. People lost faith in God and love. They all become pessimist. This formed the core for evolving a new theory in literature, that is existentialism, which was followed by the writers of Theatre of Absurd. Existentialism is nothing but the loss of sense of external meaning, reason and faith. People started to believe in the mere existence, that is in the present. What they see, they believe because of the effect of the World War II. And this is a small cartoon for you, which gives you the absolute meaning of existentialism. Now let's come to the origin of Theatre of Absurd. Critic Martin Esslin coined this term in one of his essays in 1960. So the new theatre was formed in 1951. And the first absurd play is called as The Myth of Sisyphus. It was written by Albert Camus. And this forms the origin of the absurd play. The Myth of Sisyphus was written by Albert Camus. He uses the Greek legend of Sisyphus, who is condemned by the gods of eternity by repeatedly rolling a boulder up a hill, only to roll it down again once he got it to the top. And it is used as a metaphor for individual struggle against absurdity of life. And here are some of the examples of Theatre of Absurd. And what is the characteristics of Theatre of Absurd? How you align a play as an absurd play? So these are the characteristics. It should be meaninglessness of life. It should have a lack of plot, and it should have the elements of existentialism and more puzzle dialogues, nonsensical language, stereotypical characters, repetitions, absurdity without any proper ending. On the whole, it should be different from traditional drama. So now let's see how this Waiting for Godot has all the characteristics of the category of absurd. Waiting for Godot also has the element of meaninglessness of life. If you take the senseless activity of Estragon and Latimer, and it was the setting is an alien world, only with a road and a tree. We were not told where the action takes place, and it was isolated, and the time is also towards the end of the day. Totally, it is truly meaninglessness of life. And if you take the plot, In Waiting for Godot, there is no beginning, climax, and ending, and the action takes place in the same place and time with unexplained story, and it has nothingness and emptiness. And if you take the language, it is very nonsensical. You can take the example of Lucky's speech in Act 1 and also the characters. They will be saying, for example, if you take Latimer, well, shall we go? Estragon will be answering, yes, let's go, but they will not move. There will be repetition in throughout the play. The whole structure will be cyclical. Where it starts, it ends there. The settings will be the same, the timing also, the actions also, the characters exchanges hat and boot, for example, hat and boot scenes, and it won't have proper ending. Same dialogues throughout the play, and there is no proper character structure here. There will be complexity of characters. For example, Godot, we don't know who Godot is, and the name Albert is mentioned as also Vladimir. Pozo and Lucky taking turns of their characters, and the boy appearing without any background. Who is the boy who sends him? What's his purpose of visit to waiting for Godot? So, on the whole, it is different from traditional drama. There is no interesting plot, no sense of story, no use of fantasy or poetic language, and most importantly, no female characters. And the ending is not conclusion. We are expecting something to happen. The audience will not be satisfied with what happens with the climax of the play. So on the whole, they will be wondering what they are waiting for, and they are not the characters are not sure of what they are waiting for and what they are expecting, why they are there, which is really absurd in the play. So by this we can consider Waiting for Godot as an absurd play.